Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play Final Fantasy X-2 for the PlayStation 2. So yeah, this is the original North American PlayStation 2 version of this game, so any features that were added to the international version or the HD remasters are not featured in this game. So yeah, I may make reference to them here and there throughout the LP. There's no real plans to, but just a heads up that it may happen. Also, with regards to this story, there could very well be, I'll just say it now, there will probably be spoilers with regards to the story up to this point. So if you have not been exposed to or have not experienced the story of Final Fantasy X itself yet, I would highly recommend, even before watching this LP, get caught up on the story there. And then, of course, there's the Eternal Calm prologue to this game that definitely helps give a bit more background and filler and context to the beginning of the story in this game. So yeah, highly recommend watching. Getting familiar with the Final Fantasy X story itself, and then following up with the prologue to this game called Final Fantasy X Eternal Calm. Even though it's called Final Fantasy X Eternal Calm, like I said, I probably consider it more of a prologue to this game because it takes place like right before it. So yeah, this game does take place 2 years after the events of Final Fantasy X, so heads up there. And yeah, also I'll post in a link in the video description to a more recent LP of Final Fantasy X I did a little while ago on my newer channel, Intrepid83. I basically did an LP of the HD remaster of Final Fantasy X, and I pretty much did everything except platinum the game. So full story, all the side quests, all the ultimate weapons, and all of the post-game stuff as well. So I did do the post-game stuff in the post-game. Well, for the most part anyway. Well, you'll see when you get to it that I kind of included at least one little bit of post-game in the LP itself, just simply because it was possible to do. So yeah, but yeah. So I'll leave the link to that playlist in the video description so you can take a look at it. And yeah, so if you just want to catch up with the story, you can do it through there. Watch through the story. Ignore you can leave that playlist and come back and enjoy the story continuing here. So yeah. Alright, so number one question in everybody's mind, it would be, is this going to be a 100% completion run? And the answer is yes, it will be. I'll be showing off all three of the main endings, so the quote-unquote perfect ending, the good ending, and the not-so-good ending. So yeah. As for the game itself, this game has 14 different job classes in it. Plus 3 special job classes, one for each of the main characters. I'm going to be doing my best to show as many of them off as possible within reason, meaning I'm not going to just use them just for the sake of using them, unless it's in a very inconsequential or non-essential situation. So yeah, I may slip some extras in here and there, but for the most part, anytime I use a job class, it'll be for a reason during battle, kind of thing. So yeah, I'll be utilizing their skills, or trying to use their skills as optimally as possible while showing off some new stuff, kind of thing. So yeah. And yeah, so already with the catching up with the story, highly recommended, because like I said, there probably will be spoilers for Final Fantasy X in this game, in this LP. So just a heads up. In any case, I think that's pretty much all I need to go over, so if anything else comes up, obviously, well, we've got a full LP ahead of us, so we can address it when it comes up, so let's get into it. Oh, yeah. little less related to the story of the game itself, but there is copyrighted music, I believe, in this game, so if any ads appear on any of the videos in this playlist, be aware that it was likely the result of a copyright claim by whoever owns the copyright to that piece of music, and I have no control over those ads, so yeah.
It's showtime, girls.
Now that little clip there didn't occur to me what Square Enix did until over the past few years, is that they actually made the effort to create separate animations for the English script of that scene. So that's kind of cool that they paid that amount of detail to the game. I like that. Yuna? The question mark. Starting it off with a bang. Whoa!
Want in on this number? Then show me your moves.
What happened to your voice, Yuna?
Think you can keep up?
Dropped an octave or two. And we are thrust into battle right from the get-go. And you might be able to tell with this game versus the last game, this game is active time battle, ATB. So yeah, they decided to go back to that route, that battle style, from the more tactical, I guess you could say, of the turn-based / tick-based system from the last game. So yeah, which means the abilities in the last game that were extremely useful and may not be as useful in this game, such as stuff like first strike and all that kind of stuff. But it can still be useful in this game, but just not as much. But then again, that also means other abilities also become more useful, kind of thing. So, nice little balancing act, I guess. Alright, so, and the battles in this game definitely go a bit quicker, so, they're significantly quicker. Alright, so we got our first battle here. Pause the game here just so I don't get my butt whooped right away. So, yeah. We've got 2 goons and Yuna. Yeah, I like that that introduction screen with her with Yuna and the question mark, but yeah. I'll just call her Yuna for now because she looks like her, so yeah. Alright, so we got 2 goons and Yuna. So 2 goons, they each have 13 HP each. And unless there's a specific ability that Yuna can cast on them called Ecstasy, which increases their HP to 42, so adds 29 to it. And it also heals them up to there as well. So let's say if we'd attacked already and we'd done like 12 points of damage to them, so they had 1 HP left and she uses Ecstasy, that enemy is now back up to 42 with full HP. So you'd have to go through it all over again. So just heads up there. And yeah, so for the most part here, I'm just going to have Riku and Pain play out their job class roles, and then we'll go from there. So yeah. Oh yeah, and Yuna herself has 82 HP, so yeah. Alright, so Riku, let's have her steal from each of the goons and have Pain stand by to attack. There, just make sure we get the steal. Because unlike the last game, stealing in this game is not guaranteed on the first try, so yeah. Let's, there we go, took 1 goon out. Do the same thing with the other. And you might have noticed something with Riku attacking. I've noticed a little extra text show up from it. Yeah, chain. What chaining does, it just basically any attacks that satisfy the chain gauge, any subsequent attack gets a damage boost. So there's diminishing returns of it though. So the biggest boost you'll ever get is on the first subsequent attack. So a chain times 1 gets the most, and then it starts dropping off from there. So yeah. And yeah, so let's took out the second goon, so let's steal from Yuna. And right. I'll just need to go to town on her, and we should be good to go. Now the thing with the chaining is, you might have noticed it already if you've got a keen eye, and that attacks like the Thunder Spell or just getting attacked in general can disrupt your attack animation to the point where it can negate any chains that you might have had planned. The reason why I bring that up is because I was originally going to try and make it a full chain playthrough kind of thing, but because of those slight delays constantly coming in, it was extremely frustrating for me to even try to do that. So I'll try to do chaining as much as possible for obvious reasons, but I'm not gonna totally stress out about it. It gets stressful enough in some situations, but anyways. Alright, we gotta chase after her, but first, let's see what we got here. So we start the game with 10 potions and 3 Phoenix Downs. I believe you could have stolen a Phoenix Down as a rare steal from one of the goons, so heads up there. So yeah, we had 10 potions, 3 Phoenix Downs, and we stole 2 budget grenades and a high potion from that last battle there, so yeah. Alright, let's take a look. We got accessories, we don't have any. Alrighty. And configuration. Alrighty, so here we go. We're getting into the mechanics. So sphere changes are what are used in battle to change your job class on the fly. I'm going to be turning the sphere change animations off. Don't worry. Every time even if they're turned off, if you're changing into a job class for the first time in battle, you'll get the full sequence, and then it's just every subsequent time you change into that dress sphere from the previous. What's the best way to say this? Let's just say for the sake of Riku and Pain, if say we were to change Riku into a warrior, we would get the full from going from thief to warrior. We would get a full sphere change sequence, and then going from warrior to thief, we would get another full sequence because we haven't actually seen that transformation sequence. So yeah, I think that's what I was saying. I might have lost my train of thought of it there, but if I can remember exactly how I was going to word it or how I was going to explain it, I'll bring it up. But yeah, short story is, don't worry about missing any of the sphere changes sequences, because every time we do it in battle, for the first time, we'll get the full animation. That's the whole point of that. All right, ATB mode, I'm going to switch it over to wait. All this does is, you might have noticed when I pause the game in battle, it dimmed the screen, and some areas in this game are very dark. So having it dim can really hinder your ability to strategize how you want to approach the battle, kind of thing. So yeah, this just allows you to pause the battle, so to speak, without actually pausing the game. So yeah, and it can also be useful for picking up on tells from enemies when they're about to attack kind of thing. So that can be used in some instances in some way to optimize your chaining ability, if you will. So yeah, and switch ATB speed to fast, and because it's an ATB system, active time battle, switching cursor to memory is usually a good idea, because the less time you're navigating menus, the better. So yeah, everything else I just want to leave as is. Subtitles are on. Perfect. Alright, let's start chasing after Yuna again and see what's going on. Alright, we got two goons again. These guys are the same as what we just fought, but they do not have the added benefit of being buffed by Yuna. So they got the 13 HP, and that's pretty much it. Pain is capable of one-shotting them, so I'm just going to have Riku steal, and then have Pain do her thing. Ooh, nice crit. And one cool thing about Riku's attack as well, even though it is, noticeably... Ooh, you got the rare steal there. It is noticeably weaker than Pain's. Each one of her hits can crit on their own, so yeah. Alright, now the point, which, if you're going to miss out on 100% playthrough, this is the easiest way to do it. So yeah. Alright, and we got another new enemy, She-Goons. Yeah, She-Goons. They got 7 HP, so I'm just going to have Riku attack. They got low enough HP where Riku can take him out herself, so I'll just do it that way. So yeah, alright, got Pain here, so let's have to go after the goons. And She-Goons. And yeah, the She-Goons, all they do is cast fire, so yeah. But yeah, this little thing I'm about to do on dock number 2 is required for 100% completion, and this is the only time you can do this. Alright, and we gotta talk to this Moogle right here who heals us up. We don't know why this Moogle's here, crouched out, hiding. Maybe they're trying to smuggle themselves onto the ship. Why would it be here? Well, in any case, it healed us up, so, well, good for us, I guess. And here's hoping the cute nature of a Moogle will prevent any harm from coming to them, should they get discovered as a stowaway on board. But anyways. Alright, so we got healed up. We had to talk to that Moogle to get the completion, so let's continue on. As we get pincer attacked by more goons and She-Goons.
Out of the way!
And yeah, your attacks can be interrupted as well, especially with regards to any attacks that are not ranged, where they actually have to traverse the distance. Yeah, you can actually interrupt them before they get to you, kind of thing. Works both ways, though, so, yeah. Can be good, can be bad.
Hey, you run too fast!
You're too slow, little girl.
Who is this guy?
Show's over!
Youch.
I think for the time being, I'll call them Abbott and Costello. Just be aware. Don't ask the short one who's on first, because he might put him into a berserk state. who's this? There she is. The 6th High Summoner of Spiran herself. I guess she came to her senses. Alright. Glad we got that out of the way. And why she turned against us to begin with, we may never know. Alright.
Where's the imposter?
Alright, we've got Logos and Ormi. Logos is the tall one, Ormi is the short one. Logos has 86 HP, but he's got a fairly high evasion, so he's the harder. He can be fairly tricky to hit. So I'm going to be going after Ormi first. Ormi, obviously, he's easier to hit. He's got more HP, but like just being able to hit him is definitely a plus. And he can do the most damage. So yeah, take him out first and then work on Logos. So yeah. In this case, for the most part, I'm actually going to be trying to steal anytime I can from bosses. Because generally they've got they can have some pretty good accessories. So yeah, getting accessories in this game is going to be a pretty important part of it. So yeah, all right. So I'm gonna have Riku steal from Ormi, and then we'll start working on him. So to take him down. So yeah, let's steal from Ormi. If you happen to learn Sentinel with Pain already, would recommend using it here. Just simply because stealing isn't guaranteed on the first try. Use it once, and yeah. So I believe it drops any incoming damage to Pain down to 1. So.
Takers, keepers.
Alright, well, first try. An Iron Bangle. And let's have her steal from Logos, just so we can get this all out of the way. Oh no. Ow. Alright, we got the silver glasses. Alright. So let's set up for a nice, good chain here. Kind of got interrupted there by Logos, but that's Logos for you. It's pretty quick.
Cannot be.
That's quite enough sniveling, boys.
Whoa.
Persistent, aren't you?
My grid. You give us back Uni's garment grid right now.
Didn't you girls ever learn to share?
Give it back.
Very well, it's yours. But it won't be yours for long, loves.
And now we face off against the head honcho herself, LeBlanc. Alright, so don't know her name yet, but that's who she is. Alright, so press L1. Yeah, we got the tutorial for changing dress here. So changing job classes. Press L1 and you can switch to whichever one's adjacent to you. I kind of wish they'd allow you to remove the UI, kind of like what they did with the summons in Final Fantasy VIII, but oh well. In this case as well, for LeBlanc here, we want to steal from her. And again, you may want to think about using Sentinel on Pain, just so that you can get the steal. And oh, we got it on the first try. Awesome. So yeah, use Darkness Dance. Songstress Dress Sphere is pretty much a status machine, so yeah. Alright, got the steal. If you happen to learn an ability called Pilfer Guild from Riku yet, I recommend using it here. And obviously, LeBlanc's ability to use magic as well as physical attacks. Darkness Dance is useful, but it doesn't completely get you out of the woods in terms of, you know, avoiding everything she sends your way. So, all right, and we learn Sentinel. And that's the beauty about this game as well, is that when you learn abilities,
I won't let
if you
you
have
off
to
so
learn
easily
it
next
in the
time.
middle of a battle, you can use it immediately. So yeah.
Riku.
What? What? Hey.
And we get mission complete. And our spoils from that whole sequence.
My body just started dancing by itself. I didn't know what was going on. I was frightened. Then, while I was dancing, something happened.